Find out why Mickey Adams was so fine. He was so fine, he blew our minds. And FIDE finally delivered announcing the World Championship location, but have they delivered on all their promises? We ask a top grandmaster what he thinks. And of course, we're live from the World Chess Hall of Fame with all the Sinquefield Cup updates. It's ChessCenter, where giant chess pieces roam wild. We're live from the Cube Boutique at the World Chess Hall of Fame. FIDE Master Mike Klein, it's your move. Tell us about the Sinquefield Cup.
Thanks, Danny. The event started with a bit of controversy. Vladimir Kramnik's back problems had him pull out about a week before the event. A last-minute visa allowed Peter Svidler to get here from St. Petersburg. He couldn't get a second here, but Chess.com caught up with him. Here are his thoughts on his first trip to the U.S. in 17 years.
Well, I haven't seen very much because I tend to my own regret, I tend to lead a rather, cloistered life during tournaments, living in a bubble. But, the area where we're playing and where we live seems to be very, very nice. Has a bit of a, I'm not sure if the Americans will like me saying this or not, but has a bit of an, old world feel to it. But as I said, I haven't seen a lot else. But so far, the experiences outside the board were mostly, overwhelmingly positive. Not even mostly. I haven't had a single negative experience.
Great words from Peter. Now, who's leading the event at this point?
Veselin Topalov, 41 years old and going strong. He has an interesting tournament strategy. Just like last year, he's not trying to find the best move. He's just trying to find good moves and steer clear of complications. He's only been happy with one of his games. That would be his round one win against Peter Svidler. But he has 2 wins and 3 draws to lead with 3.5 out of 5. He's up a half point on 3 players. Last year's defending champion Levon Aronian, Vishwanathan Anand, and also Wesley So. There hasn't been a lot of wins. The players have played with about as much armor as my friend over here.
Maybe not a lot of wins, Mike, but in the games that were decisive, we did have some interesting moves on the board. And with that, let's join Robert Hess.
Danny, our move of the week has to come from Veselin Topalov, our leader here at the Sinquefield Cup with 3.5 out of 5. And here, Black's king is in grave danger, so White makes the move subtly, pawn to g3.
It's amazing. The king is trapped, but isn't Black operating with doubled rooks here? What if the bishop goes to g2 with check?
Well, if I move my king, I'm in deep trouble, but I'm just going to eat that bishop on g2.
And even if I take it, you've got mate coming. The king is still trapped.
Yeah, rook c5 is checkmate.
Nothing like a pawn move to get the party started, but what about our blunder for this week?
Well, the blunder is way too big for this set.
Well, Robert Hess said the small pieces weren't good enough. It must have been a Kong-sized blunder. Robert, what do you got?
Well, leave it up to the Frenchman to blunder on e6. MVL, the hottest player on the planet, made a Hall of Fame-sized blunder here with knight takes e6. The idea is to undermine the knight here on d5 after bishop takes e6. Well, White continues with bishop takes d5, and note that the intermezzo, pawn to e3, wins material for Black.
What the Danny? Studying my loss won't help you one bit.
Sorry, Maxime. Well, look at that. FIDE announced the World Championship location. Wish I had somebody here to talk about it with. Oh, well, fancy seeing you there, Hikaru.
It's been a while.
Well, good to see you. We have a location, finally, for the World Championship. What do you think about the announcement? Have they delivered on their promise as to the grandness that they've been promoting that they're going to be bringing to this match, or were you a little disappointed?
Well, I think first of all, it's good that they delivered on the one hand in the fact that the match will be in New York. I guess at the same time, it's also a little bit disappointing because the match is it's going to be held at a fish market. It's not going to be held, say, in the financial district or like even like in '95 when there was the Kasparov Anand match. It was held at the World Trade Center. So yeah, that's right. And they were mentioning Times Square as well. So it's a bit disappointing on one hand as well.
Well, as far as the attention it gets, what do you think? How do you think it compares to events like the one you're playing in now, the Sinquefield Cup, where you have? Do you see it being more important that events bring all the best players together a few times a year, or that these matches continue to be the biggest heavyweight for chess?
I think it depends how you look at it. For me personally, I think I prefer a format more like the Grand Chess Tour, something where you have a certain amount of tournaments every year where all the top players are playing in, because I think in a way when you have that, the best player will win. And in a tournament like say the Candidates or the World Cup or any of these qualifiers, in a sense it is a bit of a crapshoot. Anyone can win because everyone's so strong, and so having say a match decided based off of one event, I think is perhaps not the best format. So I think it's good that we still have a world champion, but I think in the future the format, it's probably moving more towards, say, 6-7 tournaments a year and more like a Grand Slam in tennis.
Right. Makes sense. There you have it. Some thoughts from Hikaru Nakamura on the announcement. Are you going to be there?
As of right now, I'm not really sure where I'm going to be, but most likely I'll probably be in Florida because it's going to be in November and it's going to be much too cold in New York.
Much too cold in New York, and I was going to say chess players probably don't watch a lot of chess on their vacation time, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Do some other things. So, all right. Well, thanks to Hikaru for joining us, and we will look forward to more announcements as Aegon wraps up the details regarding the World Championship match in New York.
Hello, Chess.com, and welcome back to The Real McCoy. Now, while Danny's out there at the Sinquefield Cup with some of the greatest chess players of all time, I'm going to be talking to you about some of the worst. Those kinds of people who, even though they don't play chess regularly, think they stand a good chance against a professional chess player in a game. Now, why they think this, I don't know. You don't find people just wandering around thinking they can dunk on LeBron James or sprint past Usain Bolt or outdrink Tyrion Lannister. Yet here they are, and they're all telling me basically the same story. Oh, I had this friend, and he's really smart. I don't know, maybe he went to Harvard or something, and I beat him. And I'm like, well, great, man. If I were to go out and knock out Blanche from the Golden Girls, I wouldn't consider it a tune-up fight for Mike Tyson. And so the same way, you wouldn't expect defeating an unrated chess player in the back of your PE class would mean that you're ready to take on Magnus Carlsen. And yet here they are thinking these things, and I don't know why they do. Maybe it has something to do with movies, maybe it's the Dunning-Kruger effect, but I do know the solution. The solution, Chess.com, is us. I want us to go out there and beat these people. I want to see rooks being shadowed. I want pawn structures destroyed. I want kings in the center of the board. I want their broken chess-bone bodies to be washed up against the cruel rocks of defeat by the rising tide of ignominy. So you've got your homework, Chess.com. Go out there and beat you a patzer. And I'll see you next week.
Wait, that's not me. Oh, that's not me. Where's that king? False alarm. False alarm. It's not me, everybody. Not even close. Not even close.
Time for time trouble and time for Mike Klein to tell us why Mickey Adams was so fine he blew his mind at the British Championships this week.
I'll tell you why. He had more wins in his 5th title than the entire Sinquefield Cup has through 5 rounds.
Come on, guys.
Seriously. Grandmaster Sam Shanklin just won the BL Open. He's about 2680 FIDE. Danny, your prediction of becoming a super GM is about to be vindicated.
Feels like it's vindicated already, and you know what else is pretty cool? We now have 15 million members on Chess.com. That's a lot of chess players out there, a lot of soon-to-be fans of ChessCenter.
That's right, Danny. That's more than there are people in 2/3 of the world's sovereign countries. Chess.com, we're coming to the UN. A lot of those 15 million members read Pete's weekly articles. Our fantastic editor just won an award from the Chess Journalists of America for most humorous contribution. Long overdue, isn't it?
I think it's time for Pete to be recognized for something other than his red pen. The other thing we should recognize is that a candidate master who developed a Go program just sold it for $400 million. I think we got in the wrong business here.
Well, it's actually the right business. As you know, 90% of our company is programmers. We're the intellectual unelite. Now, a website just posted the world's 10 most expensive chess sets. Danny, is getting paid in chess sets the right way to go?
You mean you get paid in something else? Okay. Anyway, Grandmaster Peltier just had to apologize to Azerbaijan in order for him to play in the Olympiad this year. Feels like things are getting a little heavy-handed there, no?
Well, if Swiss people are having trouble getting into Azerbaijan, as an American journalist, I'm keeping my mouth shut. Danny, as you can see, there's time on the clock, but you are out of moves.
Live from the QBUT. Do it again, keep rolling. Live from the QBUT. Why am I saying Bu?
Attempting to undermine the knight on d5. After bishop takes d5. Ooh, I messed up the move order. I screwed the pooch. Two moves in a row is not allowed. I got distracted. Damn.
Mickey Adams is so fine he blows our mind, but it's time for Mike to tell everybody why. We're restarting. Sorry, how do I do that again? You have to turn off and on every time?
It's the only way I know how to do
Sounds like
it.
a stupid way to do it.
You're stupid.
I am stupid. We're gonna get it this time. I feel it's got that final take. We're building.
Makeup.
Makeup.
Tell you why, Danny. He had more wins in his 5th British Championship than the entire Sinquefield Cup has through 5 rounds.
Bunch of bums.
I already got the next Whoa, that was awful.
Go with your
that was awful. Don't ask me to explain how I could forget the second topic.